We were aiming to raise between $12 and $18 million. We were offered well over $60 million.
Hello and welcome to Paydirt TV. I'm Dominic Piper. Today I'm joined by Chris Evans, Managing Director of Winsome Resources. Chris, thanks for coming in.
Thank you for having me, Dom.
Chris, massive IPO Winsome have put away just before Christmas there, the end of November. $18 million, great to see from a junior. A package of lithium projects in Canada. What got investors so excited to get in on the ground floor of this opportunity?
Well, I think it's three things. We've got the right commodity in the right location, and we've got the right team to run it. But I think also it was a perfect time to be launching a lithium IPO. The lithium last year only went up and up in terms of price and demand. And consequently we saw that when we did the IPO on the 30th of November. As you said, we were aiming to raise between $12 and $18 million. We were offered well over $60 million, which was fantastic for us. So we banked the full 18, and that sets us up going forward for a full exploration program over the next few years.
You mentioned the commodity, and obviously lithium prices have skyrocketed in the last 12 months. The location is Canada. Most of the lithium stories we've seen to date on the ASX are either here in Western Australia or in Africa, a few in Africa and some now in Europe.
Yeah.
What is it about the Canadian lithium district that makes it attractive?
I think we're really fortunate being listed on the ASX but having assets in Canada. Canada's pretty much combined with the US to formulate a critical mineral strategy, and lithium is one of those critical minerals. And they're really fighting to create their own internal supply chain in North America, and lithium being a key part of that. And there currently being very few, in fact no, hard rock lithium mines in North America. We're perfectly positioned to sort of ride the building of that battery chain.
You mentioned as well the right team at the right time. You yourself obviously have got vast experience in the lithium game. Why did you, the group of people who have come together, why did you come together for this opportunity?
Well, I don't know if I've got vast experience, but I've got 7 years of experience now in lithium, which I suppose is more than many people. I love the project because of the location and because of its hard rock and the characteristics of the mine, which I'll tell you about in a moment. But also Qingtao Zheng, who's on our board, he has dealt with many lithium players here in Western Australia. In fact, he sold lithium from Galaxy, Pilbara Minerals, Altura into China. He's got deep connections and a great knowledge of lithium. He's on the board. And also Justin Boyleston, who's our chairman. He doesn't have a lot of experience in lithium, but he's got a lot of experience in leadership of small cap exploration and mining companies. So we all work really well together.
Let's have a look at the project portfolio itself then. You say you've got a group of assets there in Quebec. Yeah. Can you talk us through the lead project and the other ones as well? Yeah,
we've now got 4 assets. We had 3 at listing, but we've recently picked up another one. Our flagship project is Canset, and that's had about 5,500 metres of diamond drilling done on it already by Metals Tech, the previous owner of the asset, and it shows up as coarse-grained, very high grade. For example, we've got a 17 metre intersection from surface at 3.7% lithium oxide, which really is world class. The drilling that's been done shows us there's at least a few million tonnes of lithium oxide there, although no defined resource yet. It's reasonably well advanced. It's certainly beyond exploration. It's now about expanding that resource. And also we've got 395 claims at that Canset project. We've only explored and drilled on about 12 of them. So there's huge opportunity there. The next project's Adina. That's also had some diamond drilling on it, just under 2,000 metres. Again, we've found pegmatite dikes, good grades above 2%, but that needs more exploration work. Third is Cermak, which is essentially a drill season behind. Hasn't had any drilling, grassroots exploration, but there's a lithium resource sitting immediately adjacent to it. And then the final one we just picked up is Decel, and that's further to the south near the mining town of Val d'Or. And again, it's got a lithium resource sitting immediately adjacent to it. The land looks fantastic. So I've got 697 new claims there to start exploring as well.
Sounds it's a pretty busy schedule ahead of you then. You've got $18 million to spend. That suggests that you're going to be quite ambitious with your plans. What are the plans for this year, particularly with Canset?
Well, Canset, we're fortunate enough to have secured a drill rig, and we'll be starting in a matter of weeks on site. And that's only limited drilling, 2,000 metres to start with, but that's half infill drilling and half extension drilling around the pegmatite mineralisation we already know that is there, lithium mineralisation I should say. We will then roll on as soon as the spring comes in April. and the snow starts to melt, we'll have teams on the ground at Canset and at Decel, and we've got teams now working in the background on compiling all the data on all 4 projects in order to identify drill targets. And also at Canset, in the coming weeks, we've got a magnetic survey over the entire 395 claims, which will help us identify those targets for summer drilling.
So how close or how far can you take Canset this year? Is a capability of putting a JORC resource out and perhaps some economic studies?
Potentially, yes. We're faced in Quebec, much like here in Western Australia, with a shortage of resources over there. So it's really hard to get drill rigs, it's really hard to get geologists. We have secured drill rigs. We'd like to get more, and we're looking into that at the moment. But certainly we'll do this 2,000 metres I just referred to at Canset now. We'll start drilling again in the summer and then in the fall towards the end of this calendar year. And it's not inconceivable that we could have a JORC resource out by the end of that stage. Although to be conservative, I'm saying 12 months from now we expect to have a JORC resource, and that'll be accompanied by a scoping study. So really in the latter half of this year, as we start developing that JORC resource and we get some more certainty on it, we'll be working up the scoping study.
You mentioned earlier Canada and the US's intentions around lithium and other critical minerals. Will that have a direct impact on how Winsome goes about things? Will you see support from local government, national government? Will there be an entire supply chain in country?
Yes, I think there will be. The Quebec government is very supportive towards mining in general, so we get almost 40% of all our exploration spend given back to us in tax credits from the Quebec government, which is fantastic. In addition to that, the intent to establish the supply chain in North America that I referred to, I think gives us more options as we progress for finding credible partners. So whereas 3 years ago China tended to be the dominant partner that either ASX companies or companies in South America would be looking to be their offtake partner or their financier, now we've got more options with the US and Canada actively participating in this supply chain. And also I think that in the next 3 to 5 years there'll be a conversion plant, if not one then more, in Quebec itself, because there's quite a few large lithium projects in the area.
It's certainly a good time to be positioning yourself in what is really the world's emerging market for lithium supply chain capabilities. Chris, thanks for joining us today. I know we have to let you go because you're off on a plane tonight to get to Canada to see get on the ground of the project itself. Best of luck with that, and hopefully when you're back you can drop back in to Paydirt TV again and give us an update on the progress.
Thanks, Dom. I'll definitely be back, and well, certainly back in time for your conference in early April.
That's right. Of course, you'll be speaking at the Battery Minerals Conference in April here in Perth, and there's still plenty of delegate spots available. If you'd like to come along to that conference, you can visit batterymineralsconference.com for more details on that one. Thanks again, Chris, and best of luck in the next 6 months.
Thank you, Dom.